A linear system is represented by how many equations? Two. We need to have at least two equations, which we only gonna use two equations to graph, right? So a linear system is represented by two equations. And the point of intersection, which what did we call that? POI, right? Of the two lines is the solution of the linear system. You know how we used to solve for x or solve for the letter in the previous, in chapter 1, right? Yeah. I used to give you equation and say isolate for x, solve for x, right? In this case, we're going to solve, but we're going to solve for a point, which is x and y, okay? So we're going to solve for that point, which is going to be the point of intersection. So the POI coordinates means the value of the x and y, will make each equation true when the x and y values are substituted. You'll know what I'm talking about in a second. Into each equation. I'll show you what I mean when I do the example. You can check to see if the solution is correct by checking or by substituting. What am I doing? The solution back into your equation to see if the left side of the equation equals the right side of the equation, which we have done this before. Remember the left side, right side of the equation? We've done this before, so we're going to do that to check our work. Now, there's 3 ways that we're going to learn to solve a linear system. Way number 1 is by graphing, okay, which is the easier way if you know how to graph. There's also 2 other ways that we're going to learn. One way is called elimination, and the second is called substitution. Okay? So we're going to start with the graphing. When I graph, what form should my equation be in? Y equals mx plus b, which is the slope y-intercept. Otherwise, I can graph, but I have to find the x and y-intercept, okay? Which is sometimes is harder, okay? So if I have it in the y equals mx plus b form, y by itself, everything else on the other side, I can graph easily. Okay. Okay. Are they in y equals mx plus b format? No. Y is not by itself, right? For both equations. So I have to isolate for that y. Okay. To isolate for this y, what do I do with the x? Bring it over. What does it become? Minus x. So that's going to be y equals negative x plus 6. Okay? So the plus 6 stayed there, but then I carried the x over and became a negative x. Are we okay with that? Now, does this look like y equals mx plus b? What's my slope? Negative 1, right? What's my y-intercept? 6. Okay? How about the second equation? Okay, what do I bring to the other side? Bring the 2x over, what does it become? Negative 2x. Plus 0, right? I don't have to include that plus 0, but we can write it. Okay, now am I done? Is it y by itself? No, it's still a negative y, right? So I want to get rid of that negative. What's that number that is here?
1.
Okay, so I divide by negative 1, right? So divide by negative 1, that would give you y equals 2x plus 0. What's your slope for the second equation? And what's your y-intercept? 0. Okay? So let's graph the first one. The first one says my y-intercept is 6. So I have to go up to 6 and find my y-intercept. It's right here. And what do I do with the slope?
Go down 1.
Down 1
Left 1.
to the right.
To the right.
Yes, because it's a negative. Because I'm going down,
Oh, yeah.
that's a negative.
Okay.
Then I go to the right one.
Is over
Positive.
1. Okay.
Okay? Because it's a negative 1, I go down 1, which means I've already done the negative. I go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, right? I'm okay. I don't need any more points. There's a lot of points here. And then I write the equation next to the line. Where do I start for the second equation? What's my y-intercept? 0. So I start at the origin. And how much do I go by? Up 2 over 1. Because remember, this is over 1. So up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Do you see the point of intersection? Where is it?
4, 2.
2, 4. 2, 4. X first, right? A, B, C, D, F, G. If you count the alphabetical order, X comes first. Okay? So the point of intersection is right here, which is 2, 4.
And to check that, you would have to plug in the
So remember I told you earlier that if in order for me to check that my solution is right and I did the graphing right and everything is correct, I have to go and plug in this point, my point of intersection, into each equation and make sure that it satisfies both equations. Okay? So let's do that. So this is the checking part. This is, you only do this if the question is asking you to do so, or if you're not sure if your answer is correct or wrong. Okay? So I know that my equation, my first one was x plus y equals 6. So my point of intersection is 2, 4. 2 is the x, 4 is the y. You guys agree with that? So all what I have to do, I have to plug plug in 2 for the x, 4 for the y. So x is 2. 2 plus 4. Now what's 2 plus 4? 6 equals 6. Is that true? Yes, so that means my left side equals my right side. Perfect. Now I have to do the same thing with my second equation. I have to check in both equations. My second equation was 2x minus y equals 0. Yes? Okay. What do I plug in for x? 2. What do I plug in for y? 4. So 2 times 2 minus 4. What's 2 times 2? 4 minus 4 is? 0 equals 0. That means my left side equal to my right side. And that means my solution is correct. Okay? So first you have to make sure that your equations are in the y equals mx plus b format. When you do that, you graph. After you graph, you find your point of intersection and you check your work. Okay. So let's look at the first equation. What's my first equation?
Y equals x plus
Do I need to change that or is it good? It's good. Y is by itself, right? Good. How about the second equation? 3x plus y plus 1 equals 0. Do I need to change that or it's good? You need to change it. So what do I do? Move over the 3x and move over the 1. When I move them over, I have y equals minus 1. Are we okay with that? All right. Now let's graph the first one. So the first one, y equals x plus 3. What's my y-intercept? 3. And then which way do I go? Up 1 to the right 1, right? So up 1 to the right 1. Up 1 to the right 1. If you're going to go down 1, which way do you go? To the left. That's right, because I have a positive. So if I go negative, I have to go negative. Okay? So you see that my line looks like this, so I'm going to extend it a little bit. And I'm going to write my equation. For the second equation, what do I have? So where do I start? What's my y-intercept? Negative what?
3.
My y-intercept?
Oh.
3.
What's my y-intercept?
Negative 1.
This is your y-intercept, right? So that's negative 1. And then my slope is negative 3 over 1. So what does that mean? Down 3 to the right 1. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1 to the right. Can I go one more? I can't, right? It doesn't fit on the graph. So if I want to go up 3, which way do I go? If I go up 3, then I have to go to the left one. Right? So I can go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 to the left, and I find this. Okay? So now let's and then don't forget to write the equation. point of intersection? Okay, where is it?
Negative
-1,
one and 2.
2. That's right. So it's -1, 2. To check, I'm going to take that -1, 2, and I'm going to plug it in for x and y for each equation. Okay? So I start with this. Y is 2. X is -1 plus 3. What's -1 plus 3? 2. 2 equals to 2. So that's a check right there. Okay? I have to do the same thing for the other one. Remember, I always start with the equation that they gave me. Okay? So 3, x is -1, y is 2. So what's 3 times -1? -3 plus 2. -1 add 1, 0. Okay? So this is -3. Add 2 is -1. Add 1 is 0. Again, that tells me that my solution is correct and I'm going to get full marks for it. Okay? So here's what I want you to do.